We play. We be us. We be special. We smell greatness. We finish strong. Yes. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
This is the Crescent City Connection Podcast, bringing you the hottest takes from the 504 to the 225.
What's going on, guys? Justin here with the Crescent City Connection Podcast. I got Blake, JJ, and Bobby with me. We want to talk a little bit about the Pelicans and what's going on with them and the injuries we're dealing with, and Gentry's coaching. So
Or
lack thereof.
I wouldn't call what he's doing coaching. I feel like he's just a clapper, and he hasn't had much to talk about, like clap about. You know what I'm saying? But bro, look, as we speak, the Knicks are setting up right now to fire their coach. They're like, we're not, but the roster we have right now, we're underperforming, and we got to make a move.
I like Fizdale.
And the roster I see right now, we're underperforming. And I think David, either if he wants to tank, leave him in there. But if you're really trying to make like a playoff run when Zion comes back, now's the time. Make a move. Get Gentry out here, because this dude's junk. And another thing I want to talk about, like before the season, we were all talking about with Lonzo Ball and Jrue Holiday, were we not saying we probably have one of the best
Defensive
backcourts in the league. Right now, as we speak, we have the worst defense in the NBA. I'm going to rattle off some of the things that we're last in the league defensively. 54.4 points per game, points in the paint. We're last. 20.4 points per game off fast breaks. That's last in the league. 24 points off turnovers. Last in the league.
That's a lot of last.
Offensively, we're settling for too many threes. We're not attacking, and that's why we're last in the league in free throws. 13.5 points per game at the line. Last in the league. Also last in the league. We're only shooting 71% from the line. So we're last at getting to the line, and then we can't shoot them when we get there. So we're not getting nothing easy. Everything we're making is fadeaway threes, hard, hands-in-your-face threes. We're not getting points in the paint. We're not driving. We're settling. And when you don't drive, you can't get to the line. How you going to get to the line if all you're doing is shooting threes? And when I'm saying fire Gentry, it's because that's his game plan.
That's his philosophy.
He wants to shoot 40 threes per game. How do you get anything easy? You can't.
I mean, live or die by the three, and so far we dying. I mean, Drew's doesn't look in his element. I don't know what Lonzo's doing. The only person doing something is Ingram.
When you play like this, you have to be absolutely hot to win.
You have to be hot. Going. You just can't just start jacking it.
And you only get hot like that once every few games. You can't consistently win like this.
Unless you're just a great shooter, which we only have like one of those, JJ Redick.
Man, he's not doing so hot.
No, he's finding it now. He's starting to find his groove. And the thing with JJ Redick, when he finds it, this dude can be hot for like a 20-game stretch, and he could just straight take over. Like, he's that type of shooter. He's one of the best shooters of all time. And like I was saying the last podcast, law of averages. Yeah, he was struggling the first few games, but once this dude finds it, he's lethal.
Yeah, he had 22 points the other night against Charlotte. So I feel like he's starting to find
his groove. And also, we just don't know how to use him. Gentry has not a clue how to use him. What he needs to do is take some time out of his freaking day and go check out them games that go watch an Orlando Magic game. Go put on the Philadelphia 76ers tape and see how the hell they was using JJ Redick. Because obviously he don't have a clue.
So
off a screen.
What's he doing all day? What the hell is Gentry doing all day?
Smoking that ganja.
What do you think his day? What do you think his day consists of when he wakes up in the morning?
I think he gets up. He goes.
Pisses excellence.
He goes make him up. No, he definitely doesn't do that. He doesn't. And speaking of piss, don't test his piss, because he ain't gonna pass no piss test. I can guarantee that. Bro, I could see him waking up and go and get a freaking spot of tea and sitting down. Like, I don't know. I don't like this dude. I don't like him. Get him out of New Orleans.
So do you go get Fizdale if the New York's cut
No,
top? If New
I don't
York
go get
cuts top?
Fizdale either. Like I was saying,
Mark
you go
Jackson.
get one of them Van Gundys.
I
The
just-
fat Van Gundy or the
Or
skinny.
skinny
It don't matter.
See, I feel like Griffin's gonna give Gentry,
half of the year. Or
he's
till
gonna give
Zion
him he's
comes
gonna
back.
give him the whole year and a whole off season with these
Oh,
players.
Why? Give me one reason why he should do
Because
that.
they're young.
Dude,
He
I
wants to
just-
see what
I
they
don't
do with
s-
everybody's-
I don't see him.
Is
moving
JJ
on.
Redick young? Is Favors young? Is Drew Holiday young?
I don't even know if I want to talk about favorites. He's pretty much been nowhere. Well,
Well,
he went 10-10.
He
on
actually
Atlanta,
had his
Charlotte.
best game
10-10. Yeah.
last game, and he didn't look healthy them first couple of games, and he's been sitting out some games because of health. Like
Well,
to be
speaking of
honest with
health-
you, at Utah he looked good.
yeah.
The favors that we thought we was getting from Utah, we're not getting that right now. And last game, it could be healthy. He could be starting to get healthy. And all we need from him is to get rebounds and protect the paint. That's all we
And
need him to do.
Rebounding is just
That's all we need him to
continuing
do.
kill us. And I think once Zion comes back, it'll help a good bit with the rebounding. But rebounding is just killing us right now. I mean, we can't rebound, and that's besides Gentry's terrible lineups that he's putting in and the injuries. I mean, you got Ingram out, you got Lonzo out.
But just speaking of rebounding real quick, when you shooting threes, what do coaches always say when you shoot threes?
Gotta follow your shot.
No,
Get back on
that
defense.
too. But the main thing, long shots, long rebounds. Long shots, long rebounds. It's harder for Favors to go get an offensive
Yeah,
rebound
it's
when you
nowhere
shoot
near.
threes because it's a long rebound.
Exactly.
So our rebounding would go up if we would drive the basket. Because most of the time, when a lane opens up and you drive the basket, the defense, they're rotating. They're still rotating right now. So that opens up a rotation for a rebound. You know what I'm saying? When a lane opens up, it's because they're rotating quick. And so you're driving to the basket, that's going to suck in the center. When that sucks in the center, let's say Drew Holiday drives, that sucks in the center, Favors, Jackson Hayes, Okafor, their center is going to try to contest Holiday. So that leaves an opening for Favors or Okafor to get the rebound because therefore they're the biggest guy going forward now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're shooting long threes, man, it's hard for Favors to get an offensive rebound. It's hard for Okafor to get an offensive rebound. Like, I'm not saying that's all there is to it, but that's
It's
a
a big
factor.
part of it.
That's a factor. And as far as point guard right now, look, I don't think Lonzo is the future for us at point guard. And like I said before, I don't think Drew Holiday is either. He's more of a combo guard. He's not really a point guard. He's not really a shooting guard. So,
So you saying shop both of them?
yes. I say shot both of them, and I would just run Frank Jackson out there at point guard for a little while, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I love Nickeil Alexander-Walker. This dude is deadly. He just needs time on the court.
Dude, then you're so young.
Yeah, but we're tanking
But
anyways. It seems
we're not
like
winning
we
games
had
anyway.
2 wins.
Exactly. We're
So
not
what's
winning
the
games
point?
anyway.
You could
mean-
probably get it. You could probably get a first rounder for Drew and Lonzo.
Yeah, but see, I don't even know if you can package them right now. Their
Why?
stock's down.
Huh?
I think their stock's
No,
down. Right
I don't
now.
think their stock's
Lonzo's Lonzo's hurt.
Always.
Drew hasn't been himself all year.
Yeah, but I think coaches know what Drew Holiday
Drew's still
really is.
respected around the
So
league.
why are you not keeping him? Why are you shopping him?
I'm shopping Lonzo. I would keep Drew because I still think Drew is good.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of the year, they were talking about Drew Holiday as MVP.
But I also just don't like the fact that he's just not a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. Me, ideally, as a coach, I want a pure point guard and I want a shooting guard that is a lethal shooter. He's none of the above.
Neither.
To me, if I'm the coach, I'm bringing him off the bench and I'm saying you run the bench, because he's just not good at making decisions, and I think he's got too much pressure on him right now.
You're not
And you can
paying
take a lot of pressure
you're not-
off of him if you
You're
put
not
him.
paying a 6-man that much money, though.
Yeah,
you're
but
gonna trade him
he's
before
come off
that.
the bench before and been very good. One of his best years, he was our 6th man.
Then your first team is super young. Super young.
So, who cares?
What
We
do you
have
start-
Rick.
you start-
Look,
So who do you start if JJ's you start Redick?
yes, yeah. JJ's been a starter at the last 13 years, and he's made the playoffs every year. So obviously, he's a good shooting guard. We
Yeah,
just
I mean,
don't know
I'm
what
not-
the hell to
I'm
do
not
with him.
disagreeing with you, but yeah, it's like they don't know what to do. And I think a lot of that's not only the lineups Gentry's putting out there, but the offensive schemes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really see any set plays. Like you would think you'd see
There
set
are no
plays
set
for
plays.
JJ to come off of the screen,
Even
that's
catch
what I'm
and
saying.
shoot.
They don't know how to
Like, you
use
don't
them.
see
Even
any
coming
of
out of timeouts, they don't really run set
Our
plays.
out of timeout plays are the worst in the league.
Dude, lately it's been get the ball to Ingram because he looks like Durant.
Exactly. It's
That's
basically
not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but that can't be your
you can't
offense.
rely on that. It's basically playground
Bro, especially
basketball.
when he gets out the game. One thing I don't understand on offense, why are we not running pick and roll no more? For some reason we ditched pick and roll. For those people that don't know, that's the most used play in basketball for a reason. The pick and roll is the most unstoppable play call, and it's so simple. If you got a good point guard and a good roll man, it's unstoppable, especially when you got shooters all around the perimeter.
It's almost like they have this offense set up for Zion to be in there, and they're just like kind of maintaining.
They didn't adjust. They didn't adjust it
They're
at all.
just like, all right, let's hope we can win a few games till Zion gets back and just continue to run this offense because we don't want to switch it now.
I think it's just the Golden State offense, straight up. To what I'm seeing, it's the Golden State offense, but we don't have the shooters, and we don't have the guys in there right now with the basketball IQ to be able to get open without the basketball.
Nobody's running around like Curry.
Basketball, they think that they're not in the play anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Curry's always moving.
I mean,
always.
So is JJ.
JJ's always moving. Reddick knows how to play off ball.
Yeah,
as good
but
as
you can't just
anybody.
have one guy doing
Right,
that.
exactly. And I think that comes with the youth of our team. You know, we just don't have a ton of experience. We got a lot of young guys on the floor at the same time. And
Bro, to me, young guys, like you're saying, their basketball IQ ain't what it's gonna be, and young guys, they usually just listen to exactly what the coach is saying because they're like, look, he knows more than me, so if he tells me to do this, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, there's not
But
much.
the problem is, the guy that we have telling
He's
him
telling
what
him
to
the wrong
do
thing.
don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know. He doesn't have a clue. His head's on cloud 9.
Well,
24/7.
hey, I just want to bring this up. Have y'all seen what Monty Williams is doing over there in Phoenix?
Yeah, he's looking nice.
yeah,
They're like first in.
I wish
a
we'd
few
have never.
different
I wish we'd have
categories.
never
Should've
got rid of
fired
Monty
him.
Williams.
No, should have never fired him.
His suspension now for Gentry's.
Well, we overreacted when we lost that playoff series. We lost to the Warriors, and then we fired.
Nobody was beating the Warriors.
Nobody was beating the Warriors.
Like-
That was a huge overreaction. I mean, I think if he had hung around all this time, things could be a lot different.
But then you
Lot
never
different.
know. When you go back and say, what if? Like, if Monty Williams there, we probably don't have Zion right now. You know?
Yeah,
we
'cause
might
we
still have AD. Who knows?
I'm glad AD's
Yeah.
out.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
not.
even
I'm not
wanna
saying I
talk
wish he
about
was
him.
back.
But
I'm
he
just
ain't
saying
even
it could
doing
be.
nothing in LA, man. His stats ain't nothing. And that's something, like, I don't think they're a good match.
Think
LeBron
it's-
James doesn't know how to make power forwards better.
He's having shoulder issues too.
Yeah, but the thing is, LeBron, the best guy to pair with LeBron is like an off-ball guard that can get his own shot. Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving. Look at the past power forwards you put with him. Chris Bosh, who was an all-star every year until he played with LeBron. Kevin Love, an all-star every year before he played with LeBron. AD, he probably won't. The only reason if he does make the all-star
'Cause
team
he's in
is
LA.
because he's playing in LA.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. But I did read. I think it was today that he's been dealing with shoulder issues.
Yeah,
so-
but we all know he's made of glass.
Yeah, he's always
Dude,
here.
I mean, look at LeBron last year. Like, LeBron was out the end of the year. Like, they might have injury issues. Like,
Yeah,
deeper
definitely.
into the
We knew
season.
this going in.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
did. But, you know, who's to... I don't even want to talk about them.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not
let's
talk.
not talk about
Let's
the
get
Lakers.
back on subject and talk about how terribly coached our Pelicans are lately, I guess. Because, I don't know. I don't know what we can do at this point.
Well,
But, like-
if you go back to what Josh was saying though, I mean, if he's telling these young guys, you know, what to do, and they're taking this to heart, you don't want him to mold them
Picking
into
up
the
bad
players.
habits.
Especially
Exactly.
Zion Williamson.
You don't want him to mold these players into what they're going to become. You want to get a different guy in here that's going to, you know, get these guys going, get them doing the right thing, get them in the right spots.
That's a real good point by both of y'all. Blake was saying, you don't want to mold our players the wrong way, and Janu is especially not Zion Williamson. David Griffin is putting a ton of trust into Gentry right now. Look how much potential Zion Williamson has, and he's putting a lot of trust into Gentry to make him to be the coach to reach your ceiling if you're Zion Williamson.
I don't know if it's more of him putting trust in him, like you're saying. Like, obviously he's got to have some trust in him, but I
Has
think
to.
this is a test year for Gentry.
But it's got to be trust, man.
Because a new GM is not going to come in and clean house.
That's usually what a new GM does, to be honest with you. They usually clean house. So that's showing me that he's got a lot of trust in Gentry for keeping him. But I think it's got a lot to do with they've worked together in the past. And they've worked,
I think he's going to give him some time.
I think they're
with
friends.
The whole roster being healthy. I don't see them.
I think they're buddy, and that's why I didn't fire him. Look, David Griffin, bro, you could still be buddies with him. We got cell phones. You can keep in touch with anybody in the world. Y'all could
y'all could FaceTime.
Yeah, y'all could FaceTime. Y'all could still get together for your little tea parties and ganja parties.
Just move him.
You're giving the keys to a Lamborghini to a guy who's unproven as a coach, who hasn't won many games. Like he's got a losing record, I'm sure, as a head coach.
By far.
A big time losing record.
But they have a better basketball coach in the state of Louisiana, Will Wade.
Will Wade.
I'd much rather if we could somehow get Will Wade as
our
head coach.
I'm sure Will Wade would be happy to leave with how they treated him last year.
Yeah, Will Wade. I mean, you see LSU did not have Will Wade's back at all. As soon as they got one little allegation on him,
that made me sick.
They said
that made me sick.
You're suspended, and that was LSU. That was one of the best LSU basketball teams in a long time, and we was going in. That was the time where the tournament was just starting out.
I know they lost by a lot to Michigan State, but I think the game could have possibly been different with him as coach, because you see the way he makes adjustments.
His halftime adjustments are awesome.
It looks like a different team.
And we all seeing how much talent he had on that team. Look at Tremont Waters. That dude's looking real good in the NBA right now at Boston.
Yep. So you heard it here first. Will Wade to the Pelicans.
Big B Williams. You seen him on preseason.
He was solid in preseason,
good.
Yeah.
And maybe we should look at him if we're struggling at rebounding.
Yep.
He's an athletic big man.
That's what he does, rebound.
We're stashing him at G League right now, but
I think he had double-doubles all preseason long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're pretty disappointed with what the Pelicans have done so far this year. I mean, only 2 wins. They got the Rockets tonight and the Clippers Thursday. So we'll see what happens, and just continue to bring you guys takes on what we think's going on and how we think the season's going to play out. But
let's just speak on this real quick before we wrap it up. You saying give that Griffin is going to give him this year no matter what.
Yeah.
You just rattled off our schedule coming up. What if we're 20-2? What if we start off 20-2? I mean
2-20.
2-20.
I'm about to say,
My
that's
bad.
a good thing.
I'm dyslexic right now. 0-20. Or 2-20.
2-20.
I'm still messing.
we got
something.
2 wins already.
Pick something
2-20.
here, kid.
Therefore, we lose like our next 12 games.
I don't think he lets him go. I think he blames it on injuries. That's his excuse. That's his scapegoat. Like that's how he gets out of firing Gentry this year. That's how Gentry has his job. He's going to give him at least a full year with a healthy roster. That's my opinion.
That's his excuse every year.
In my opinion, that's idiotic.
Dude, it's a whole new roster. The whole roster is new.
Dude,
I'm not
there
saying
was
I
a stat
agree.
that I seen the other day. 80%. It was like 70 or 80% of the players that were free agents are on new teams. Dude, almost every one of these teams in the NBA right now has a new roster.
Is that the league rotates every year?
The way the players have
years.
control now, it's going to be like this. So we're going to have to find a coach that can adjust to rosters quick. Because, I mean, look at the stock Ingram's having right now. What if he says, I want out? We have to get what we can get for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to be able to adjust quickly. You can't just give a coach a year.
What excuse?
Because whatever players you got, if you suck that year, they're going to be like, the good players you have are going to be like,
gone.
I want out.
What excuse do college coaches have? I mean, they turn over damn near the whole...
Almost every year.
Every year.
Which are one and dones.
Yeah, especially like Coach K's got a whole new team every year for the most part.
So if he has a bad year, he
Calipari?
just says a bunch of new players. I couldn't really get I couldn't get him to gel.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point.
But look, I do like, I'm still going to put my trust in Griffin because I love the trade. That AD trade is looking really good. Because between Brandon Ingram, this dude's looking like a mini Kevin Durant.
It's been worth it in that itself.
If it was just him. And then you have another keeper, in my opinion, Josh Hart. This dude, last name fits him perfectly. His whole game is around. This dude just plays with heart.
Yeah, he's a dog.
The whole game. So that's a keeper. And then Like I
Hold
don't
on.
think
Let me pause
Lonzo.
real quick. Shout out to Lighthearted Podcast and Josh Hart. I don't know if you guys have listened, but he does have a podcast.
Yeah,
and
his
it's pretty
podcast
sweet.
is pretty legit too. We
So
need
yeah,
to
shout out to
try to link up.
Lighthearted Podcast. If you guys want to get together, we get.
Bro, we got the
happen.
tech set up. We could put you on FaceTime. We're gonna start recording this, filming it, and everything. Like, jump on the podcast, bro. Come on, Hart. Like, we giving you a shout out almost every podcast. Do what you do.
We right down the road.
Return the love.
Right, that's a 20-minute drive.
He ain't, like I said, you ain't even got a job. We'll FaceTime
We'll
you on the
come get you.
screen.
We'll send an Uber for you.
A stretch Escalade.
Yeah, like the XL for
Like,
sure.
We're gonna go all out for that.
So yeah, I got the Clippers Thursday. I'm sure Kawhi will probably be taken off considering we kind of suck.
But like I was saying, even if Lonzo is not the future, you could still trade him. And then we're not even talking about the 5 first-round picks we got from the Lakers.
It's very true.
That was a robbery. So from that trade alone, I'm still gonna keep my trust in Griffin. So whatever he chooses, I'm gonna have his back on that. But
Yeah, I mean, hopefully maybe the last piece of the puzzle is a new coach. That could be the,
And you
thing that
and you
sets
just
us up.
said we play the Clippers soon.
Yeah, Thursday.
And Kawhi Leonard with the management,
Yeah,
they
load
managing his
management,
minutes.
I'm sure he's gonna sit.
Bro, I don't hate it because he's trying to make sure he's healthy for the playoffs. That's when it matters. This
Kawhi
dude
Leonard, he don't need reps.
The Clippers have the type of team where he don't have to go out there every game and win. So why wouldn't he take minutes off?
He don't need the reps.
And
bro.
I ain't heard nothing from ESPN when LeBron was taking the back end of
Oh, no, you
back to
didn't-
backs
you didn't
last
say what,
year.
You didn't see what LeBron said. I think it was today. He was like, he said something like, "I love basketball too much to sit out if I'm healthy."
No, that wasn't LeBron.
Where was that
It
last year?
Who?
When he
Somebody else said that, I
never
think.
I
played
think
not
it was
one
LeBron.
back to
He was
back.
like, I have plenty of time after I retire to not play basketball. I'm pretty sure LeBron said.
I think he's looking at like these
No, that was
players.
Harden. That was Harden that said that.
Was it hard?
Yeah, it was Harden.
Okay.
That makes more
I
sense
stand
because
corrected.
Harden's the man, dude. Like him and Kevin Durant are the most unstoppable offensive forces in the league.
Yeah, I agree with you
Like,
there.
they
But my
can't be
boy
stopped.
Ingram is looking mighty
Yeah,
nice.
Ingram's looking
He's
really
looking
good.
like you said.
What is he?
KD.
22, 23? He's not even close to his prime right now.
Well, see, I'm glad Quinn brought that up because I think as of late, our whole offense has just been get the ball to Ingram, get the ball to
Yeah.
Ingram, and I mean,
Because nobody else can make a shot.
yeah, but that's not gonna last, you know. But we'll see. Again, Clippers
Bro, when he's
Thursday.
shooting, his percentage is excellent, and he's his height. You can't guard him. Like it's really not a bad thing to do what we're doing. Like, bro,
You think
when you got a
tonight's
Kevin
alone?
Durant,
You think
why
tonight-
not run your whole offense through him?
Yeah, but
And then the thing with him, the difference between him and Anthony Davis, you can play him as a point forward. His passing ability, he can come up, dribble up, start the offense. He's got good passing. He's a playmaker. He can shoot the three. And that's one thing he developed. He developed the outside shot, and he's developing his passing. And the way he gets to the line, he's the one guy. I rattled off that free throw stat, how nobody's getting to the line. It's not because of Brandon Ingram. He's getting to the line, and he's making them. His free throw percentage is good. I love him starting the offense. Like, to me, he's the best point guard we have right now. Lonzo, all he wants to do is shoot threes, and Drew Holiday, he can't make decisions.
he's nowhere to be found as of late.
So to me, I'd say put him at point guard. Like how the Lakers are putting LeBron at point guard. I would try it if I was Gentry. I'd try running Ingram as your point guard. Put JJ as your shooting guard. Put Drew as a three. Or what I would do is run him off the bench. And
Well, if you're gonna let Ingram run like the point ish,
mhm.
why wouldn't you just continue to have Drew in the game?
You could put Drew at the
point.
small forward. No, you put him. I said run Ingram at the point.
Run Ingram at the point. Then
Put
you got
JJ at the two.
Yeah.
Put Howard at the three,
At the three.
and then you
Frank Jackson.
no, you still have him come off the bench for now, but you could have Melly. You could keep Melly at the 4, so we could have the shooting and
Favors.
5 with the favors. Because
Dude, Gentry's not gonna do it.
yeah, and
You know
only
why?
because
he likes the
Hayes
small lineups, dude. He likes the Golden State style offense.
and it's not working.
Yeah, it's not with
The
this. lineup.
definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing that's not working. So therefore, Gentry needs to be in a padded room. Dude's crazy.
We'll wait
He's
to the
nuts.
Pelicans. We'll wait to the Pelicans. You heard it here first. Y'all have a good night.